If you've ever looked into how to improve your recoil control before, you might have heard this advice. Shoot the wall and see where the bullets go to learn the pattern, and then control for it as you shoot. This sounds really intuitive, right? If the gun kicks up, just match its pattern with your mouse. But what if I told you that the best way to control for recoil is actually by using your keyboard? This is a technique called recoil smoothing and will probably sound very familiar to anyone who's played a lot of Apex. The mechanic behind it in that game is that when you're moving your mouse smoothly at a certain degrees per second, the game will reduce how much your guns kick to make tracking targets while strafing easier. It's probably implemented to help controller players track at long range, since their aim is consistently smooth enough to take advantage of it, whereas it's far harder for mouse and keyboard players to utilize. So if it's just aiming smoothly at your target, why did I mention aiming with your keyboard earlier? While the core idea behind the mechanic is similar in both games, there are some differences which change how you utilize it. From what I can tell, recoil smoothing in the finals is an on or off. It kicks in gradually based on the speed you're moving the mouse. This is why tracking people out of a jump pad or while they're on a zipline feels so much easier. They're moving faster, so you're moving the mouse faster, so recoil smoothing is stronger. The downside of this is that outside of close to medium range, in 1v1 gunfights the recoil is almost unaffected due to the base strafe speed being below the threshold needed to get the most out of recoil smoothing. There is a way around this though, which is to make the opposite movements of your opponent, increasing the amount of mouse movements you have to make, which reduces the recoil. This is called anti-mirroring, and even though it makes aiming slightly harder, this is massively offset by just how much easier it makes controlling the recoil. It's a night and day difference. So how can you best utilize recoil smoothing? Everything I've talked about so far has been in reference to the medium class, since it's what I main, but all of this applies to every weapon in the game, including single fire ones. It's actually even more powerful on light, where the faster base movement speed increases the range recoil smoothing is effective, even if this is balanced out a bit by the damage drop-off. Personally, I try to utilize recoil smoothing in basically every gunfight I can. I keep my mouse movements as smooth as possible and targets moving quickly to ensure it activates, and anti-mirror my opponents when they're on the ground for the same effect. Being conscious of it has honestly changed how I approach gunfights in this game. It's insanely powerful and lets you put out very good DPS at ranges most people just can't. All that being said though, I don't think it makes landing the recoil patterns completely useless. Since recoil smoothing dampens the recoil instead of removing it, the kick of some weapons can still be felt. For example, I still have to manually compensate for the FCAR's first few bullets. There are also some ranges or situations where no matter what you do, you can't reach the speed needed for recoil smoothing to be useful, and in those situations, controlling the pattern is the best option. Having a good understanding of both recoil smoothing and each weapon's recoil pattern should allow you to seamlessly blend them both, with each technique's strengths making up for the other's weaknesses. I hope this has been useful, and thanks for watching.